Succubus is understood as a Lilin-demon in female form or supernatural entity that appears in dreams to seduce men, usually through sexual activity. The descriptions of the same can be traced back to the folklore of medieval times. The male equivalent of this is known as an incubus, a mesmerizing figure in supernatural and vampire folklore, historically depicted as a demon assuming a female form to seduce men, primarily during their sleep. Originating from the medieval Latin word succubere, which translates to lie beneath, the succubus embodies the ultimate union of danger and desire. This entity is renowned not just for its alluring appearance, but also for its intent to engage with human men to drain their vitality or even their life essence during intimate encounters. The succubus is also known as the earth wanderer. The practice of the succubus involves more than mere act seduction. These entities are believed to extract life force from their victims through intimacy, which, according to lore, strengthens them and weakens or even destroys the human involved. This interaction often leaves the victims physically drained or ill and spiritually compromised. In some tales, the succubus is also capable of using the stolen energy to manifest in the physical world, bridging the gap between the ethereal and the earthly. Across different cultures, the characteristics and tales surrounding succubi vary, yet the core essence remains consistent. They are nocturnal spirits that blend erotic allure with a foreboding presence. In European folklore, they are often seen as demonic forces or witches using their powers for malevolent purposes. These beings have not only populated the nightmares of past generations, but have also served as cautionary tales about the dangers of unchecked desires and the supernatural realms that lurk beyond the bounds of the human world. Throughout history, the succubus has appeared under various guise, each adaptation reflecting the unique cultural and religious anxieties surrounding sexuality and moral conduct. In medieval Europe, the succubus was commonly linked with witchcraft and demonology, often portrayed as a servant of Satan sent to seduce men and steal their souls through sexual corruption. This depiction was likely used to explain and demonize unexplained phenomena such as nocturnal emissions or erotic dreams, linking them to spiritual attacks. In the Middle Eastern traditions, creatures resembling succubi are associated with the jinn, spiritual beings that can be benevolent or malevolent. Unlike the demonic nature of the European succubus, these entities can have a more nuanced role, sometimes serving as tests of faith or moral fortitude. The Jewish folklore introduces the figure of Lilith, who, according to some legends, becomes a night demon flying through dreams, bringing lust and leading men astray. Lilith's portrayal as a succubus-like creature stems from her association with the night and her rebellion against Adam and God's order, embodying the ultimate figure of danger and desire. In African and Caribbean cultures, similar spirits known as asebi and sukuyon, respectively, also share attributes with the succubus, often involving tales of shape-shifting women who engage with men to drain their vitality or blood. Famous succubi. Lilith. Often considered the archetypal succubus, Lilith originates from Jewish mythology. According to some traditions, she was the first wife of Adam who refused to submit to him and was subsequently banished from the Garden of Eden. She is depicted as a night demon who seduces men and harms infants. Lilith's legend has evolved over centuries, and she is sometimes seen as a symbol of female empowerment as well as a succubus. Huldra. In Scandinavian folklore, the Huldra is a stunningly beautiful forest creature that appears mostly benign, but has traits similar to those of a succubus. She is known to seduce young men and steal their hearts or lead them astray, never to be seen again. Unlike the traditional succubus, the Huldra can also be benevolent, rewarding those who please her with good fortune. Karina. In Islamic culture, the Karina is a demonic figure similar to the succubus, who appears in dreams and tries to seduce men, often leading to nocturnal emissions. The Karina is also thought to harass women and children and can be warded off through spiritual means or protective prayers. Zana. Found in Asturian mythology, the Zana is a nymph-like creature that could be considered a type of succubus. She is exceptionally beautiful and lures men with her charm and voice. Men captivated by a Zana could end up lost or trapped by her spell, drained of their will or vitality. Pontianak. In Malay and Indonesian mythology, the Pontianak is the spirit of a woman who died during childbirth and returns as a vampiric ghost. She is often depicted as a beautiful woman who seduces men before revealing her true terrifying nature and then killing them. The Pontianak targets her victims by the scent of their clothes and is known to suck blood or eviscerate them. Dakini. In Hindu and Buddhist mythology, Dakinis can be seen as a form of succubus. They are mystical female spirits associated with energy and transformation. Dakinis can be wrathful or benevolent, and while they sometimes serve as sexual symbols, they also represent deeper spiritual truths and guidance. According to the Kabbalah and the school of Rashba, the original three queens of the demons, Agratbat Malat, Nama, Aisheth Zenunim, and all their cohorts give birth to children, except Lilith. According to other legends, the children of Lilith are called Lilin. According to the Malleus Maleficarum, or Witch's Hammer, written by Heinrich Kramer, Institutoris, in 1486, succubi collect semen from men they seduce. Incubi, or male demons, then use the semen to impregnate human females, thus explaining how demons could apparently sire children. King James, in his dissertation titled Demonologie, offered a suggestion that a devil would carry out two methods of impregnating women. The first, to steal the sperm out of a dead man and deliver it into a woman. In modern storytelling, the succubus has changed from a shadowy figure of nightmare into a complex symbol of desire and dread, infusing contemporary literature, film, and video games with a nuanced portrayal that balances empathy with fear. One of the most compelling depictions of the succubus theme is found in Jennifer's Body, where the protagonist Jennifer is not merely a creature of horror, but a symbol of twisted empowerment and betrayal. The film masterfully uses the succubus myth to navigate the turbulent waters of female sexuality and agency, making Jennifer a predator haunted by her own newfound appetites and the societal forces that initially shaped them. This portrayal stands out as one of the more modern takes on the succubus legend, making it an interesting departure, yet still adjacent to the vampire legend. Powers and abilities of the succubus. The succubus, in myths and folklore, is endowed with a number of supernatural powers and abilities that make it a formidable entity in the supernatural world. Shape-shifting. One of the most common abilities of a succubus is to change its appearance to suit its needs, often taking the form of a beautiful woman designed to allure its intended victims. Dream manipulation. Succubi can enter and manipulate dreams, creating vivid and realistic experiences designed to seduce and entrap their victims mentally and emotionally. Energy drain. The primary ability of a succubus is to drain life force or energy from a person through intimate contact. This process can rejuvenate the succubus while leaving the victim weakened or even dead. Seductive influence. Beyond mere physical appearance, succubi possess an innate ability to charm or hypnotize their prey, making resistance to their advances difficult. Supernatural strength and agility. When confronted or in danger, succubi can exhibit enhanced physical abilities such as strength and agility that make them formidable opponents. Immortality. Often considered immortal, succubi are not susceptible to human aging or diseases, living through centuries or millennia. Telepathy. Some legends attribute succubi with the ability to read the minds of their victims, using an individual's desires and fears against them to manipulate outcomes to their advantage. Weaknesses of the succubus. Despite their formidable powers, Succubi also have vulnerabilities that can be exploited. Sacred objects and symbols. Items or symbols considered holy or sacred, such as crosses, holy water, or blessed artifacts, can repel or harm a succubus, depending on the lore. Incantations and rituals. Specific spells or rituals can banish or bind a succubus, often requiring detailed knowledge of their true name or nature. Iron and salt. In some folklore, iron and salt are believed to ward off evil spirits, including succubi, acting as barriers or causing them pain upon contact. Sunlight. Like many nocturnal creatures of myth, succubi are sometimes said to be weakened or constrained by sunlight, limiting their powers during the day. Spiritual shields. Individuals who are spiritually protected either through their own psychic shields or via the protection of a higher spiritual entity may be immune to the influences of a succubus. True names. Knowing the true name of a succubus can give one power over it, a common theme in myths involving demonic or spiritual entities. Unyielding willpower. Those who possess exceptionally strong willpower and moral integrity may resist the seductions and manipulative efforts of a succubus. Understanding both the strengths and vulnerabilities of the succubus provides a richer insight into how these beings are woven into the tapestry of cultural myths and personal psychologies, portraying a balance of power that reflects deeper human struggles and beliefs. Terrifying tales of the succubus, the painter's doom. In the dimly lit streets of Renaissance Florence, a young and ambitious painter named Giulio became obsessed with capturing the perfect depiction of beauty. One night, a mysterious woman appeared in his studio, claiming to be his muse. She was the embodiment of his artistic desires, and under her influence, Giulio created his masterpiece. However, each session left him more drained and frail. Unbeknownst to him, his muse was a succubus feeding on his life force. By the time the painting was completed, Giulio had succumbed to exhaustion and died horribly, his life essence consumed. His masterpiece is said to still hang in a forgotten gallery, cursed with the haunting visage of the succubus, drawing in unwary admirers. The scholar's fatal research. In the late 17th century, a scholar named Edmund, known for his studies into the occult, stumbled upon a forbidden text that detailed an ancient ritual to summon a succubus. Driven by curiosity, he performed the ritual, and to his horror, it succeeded. A succubus named Lilura appeared, promising him unearthly knowledge in exchange for his company and nightly interaction. Night upon night, Lilura visited Edmund, sharing secrets of the cosmos that he feverishly recorded after each encounter. Before his sudden death, the book which he was working on for some time went missing. Upon the discovery of his lifeless corpse, a warning was found to have been written in his blood. It was found to have been scratched off just above the bed. The itching of the scratches were what saved his last words, and not the distorted blood. Please make her stop. I cannot stop her. The Curse of the Hearts Book Club. In a small American town, a series of sudden deaths involving young men stirred fear and confusion throughout the community. The only connection among them was their membership in a local book club known as the Hearts Book Club, where bachelors discussed poetry and novels. Each victim was found deceased in his bed with an expression of ecstasy and terror, yet no outward signs of foul play surrounding the death. Legend has it that a succubus infiltrated their gatherings, disguised as a charming and highly attractive young woman. She visited certain members, typically the vulnerable and single, preying on their longing for love and carnal desires. By the time the connection was made by some of the survivors, half the club had succumbed to a bitter end. The remaining members disbanded the club temporarily to work around a solution. Eventually, some of them chose to hunt her, and depending on who's telling the story, they found her in another far-flung town and killed her in a dark cave where she found to have slept during the day. She left a bloody trail in wake, which was followed closely, finding that she had skipped 2 states and 3 months before she resurfacing again with a new face and identity. This is believed to have taken place before the year 2000, and much of the details surrounding this dark encounter has been lost to time. This tale ends with the few who remained following up on similar accounts of lonely men dying suddenly up and down the country. If you enjoyed this story, then like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.